Hello, and welcome to Beyond Books, where we talk about books and beyond. I'm your host. I'm Renee, co-host Raina. She's been at her spa, which is in the front area of the house, resting in the sun and, greeting all the neighbors who walk by. So thank you for joining us, Raina. We appreciate that. And Raina's choice for snack of the day today is Beneful Snackers. They are peanut butter flavor, and they are shaped like little apples and carrots and pea pods. So that's what Raina is having today. Here's a couple of apples. I'll show you what they look like. So first, I'd like to ask you to please forgive my absence for a few days. I think it's actually been nearly a week since I made a video. I was away from home for about 4 or 5 days. I was helping a friend who had a medical procedure, and she's doing very well. And I was very happy to be able to help her. So yeah, back now. So let's get into this review of my 22nd banned book for 2025. This is the first in the Harry Potter series. This is The Sorcerer's Stone, and it is by J.K. Rowling. This book was published in 1997, so it's close to 30 years old, if you can believe that. Hard to believe. But now there are a total of 8 books in the actual Harry Potter series. There's also countless companion books, short stories, etc., etc. The list goes on. But 8 in the series. And the genres for the book are young adult, fantasy, and magic. So for me, this was my first experience reading Harry Potter. So for those who maybe aren't as familiar with the series, I'll give you a brief synopsis without any spoilers. This story is about a young boy named Harry Potter who lives with his aunt and uncle who are pretty horrid, actually. They aren't very nice to him, and neither is his cousin Dudley. So Harry leads a very dull and unfulfilling life until his 11th birthday, when he is visited by a representative of the Hogwarts School of Wizardry and Witchcraft. That person's name is Mr. Rubeus Hagrid. And Hagrid tells Harry that his parents perished while trying to fight off an evil sorcerer who also tried to kill Harry. So Harry realizes that the scar on his forehead, which is kind of shaped like a lightning bolt, is actually from this battle that went on when he was just a baby. Hagrid also tells Harry that he has a place waiting for him at the school, the Hogwarts school, which starts in like a day or so. So they go shopping for all the things Harry will need for wizard school, such as like a magic wand, a cape, those kinds of things. So at the school, Harry makes some new friends, and he also makes some new enemies, of course, as well. Harry finds that he is an excellent Quidditch player, which is a fictional sport played on flying broomsticks, featuring 2 teams competing to score points with a ball that's called the quaffle. So Harry plays on his house team, which is Gryffindor. The school itself is full of magical characters and spells and all kinds of things. There's stairways that lead to nowhere, and there's behind it all a mystery that Harry and his friends start working on, despite having to confront a 3-headed guard dog and some other, evil characters and things like that. So Harry continues to hone his wizard skills, and he also deepens his friendships with his classmates while he's at Hogwarts. So that's the basic story. I'll leave it there, but I think you can kind of get the gist of what the story is like. So, why is it banned? Well, I'm going to quote from an article which I will link below. It's called Why the Harry Potter Books Are Banned, and it is from screenrant.com, and it is written by Adrian Tyler. Now, I'm referencing this title because it had an excellent and just a very succinct passage about the bans. So here's what she had to say. The main theme in Harry Potter's books is obviously magic, an element found in many other fantasy novels, most notably J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings universe. However, mixing magic and fantasy in books aimed at a young audience didn't sit well with some groups. Different religious groups accused the Harry Potter books of promoting witchcraft and religions such as Wicca, which to them made them unsuitable for children. The Harry Potter books are some of the most challenged in the United States. And according to the American Library Association, this has happened in 2001, 2002, 2003, and 2019. The Harry Potter books have also been accused of referencing the occult, Satanism, violence, and containing real spells and curses. I like to know which ones were real. With supporters of the book explaining that they have little resemblance to occultism and the witchcraft in it is merely fictional, though it does seem to have some Christian subtext. I didn't pick up on any of that. The Harry Potter novels were also accused of being anti-family and anti-authority due to Harry's relationship with the Dursleys, that's his aunt and uncle, completely ignoring how the latter were abusive to Harry and that the novels have other healthier representations of family, although not in the traditional way, which may be controversial to some. So there you go. That's kind of a you can't satisfy everybody kind of thing. All of this has led to many efforts in different parts of the world to ban the Harry Potter novels. And in the case of the United States, these led to legal challenges, such as allowing the books to be held in public schools, violating the separation of church and state. That's a little confusing to me. But various schools, mostly religious ones, banned the Harry Potter books at some point, while others tried but ultimately failed. Now that, I imagine, is very true because we know that if the children themselves stick up for the books that are banned, then the bans and challenges are usually overturned. And, with Harry Potter being so well loved, I'm sure it was very difficult, to not get those kinds of challenges back from students. So let's take this from another angle as well, because this is interesting too. This is about the author. Some people actually boycott these books and anything associated with them for some different reasons. So what's that all about? Well, here's a quote again from the same article. And it says, in addition to the above mentioned controversies, the Harry Potter world has also faced other issues. J.K. Rowling has been accused of plagiarism and has also been plagiarized on many occasions. But the wizarding world currently faces other, different, and more serious controversies. Rowling's comments on transgender people have sparked a lot of debate from both sides, to the point where many actors from the Harry Potter books have stepped in to show their support for transgender people and the LGBT community, while others have supported Rowling and her opinions. Okay, so there's a lot in there. So let's talk first about the plagiarism. Apparently, there were 2 unsuccessful court cases against Rowling accusing her of plagiarizing the work of two different authors. One was named Adrian Jacobs, and the other was Nancy Stouffer. Also, considering that the series have been, so enormously successful as they have, obviously the Harry Potter books have been plagiarized, and unauthorized sequels have appeared over the years and things like that. So the author and Time Warner, who owns the rights to the films, have had to take numerous actions to maintain and defend their copyrights against plagiarism. Now, to the other point about the transgender issues, the transgender comments made by Rowling. I'm going to address those this way. I'm going to put links to actually several articles in the description so that if you're interested, you can, go ahead and take a look. But it seems to me that it just kind of goes back and forth and goes on, and the comments just keep getting more and more in the weeds of what's considered feminine and what's considered masculine, what's biological, what isn't biological. Now, of course, she has the right to her own opinion, as everyone does. But, we also all have the right to live in peace and to be free. And, sometimes being free means just not going back and forth with, something like this. For me, it's that easy. I accept people for who they are and try to meet them where they are. And the most important thing to me is how they treat others. I mean, that's my opinion on that. So, yeah, there'll be some links if you want to really know exactly what the comments were and kind of what's behind all of that. So, now, all that being said, how did I actually like the book? Well, I loved it. I did. I thought it was very imaginative. I liked the characters. I thought it was fun. The magical element was kind of like just enough for me, and yeah, just done well. It was done in a fun and kind of a whimsical way, and I just enjoyed it. I can understand how people can become immersed in the wizarding world of Harry Potter, and I'll probably read more from this series in the future. Now, I wouldn't necessarily give this book, say, 5 stars, although I may have when I was younger. For me, though, even still, it's at least a 4 to 4.5 star read. So, yeah, I'm very interested in knowing what happens next. So, I'm glad I picked this up when I did. So that's Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling. It feels good to be back and making videos again, so I hope you enjoyed it. We'll do one more snack for the road. Take care and have a great day.